Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette with scrying session. Yeah, scrying. Yeah, Christelle Martinette is getting confused with a reading for the days 16, 17, and so on, leading to the full moon, the 21st, 22nd. I have to look on the calendar. The 2 days, 2 nights where the moon will shift from Scorpio to Sagittarius, and it'll be a very powerful pull there those couple of days. And I'll be coming back for a reading with that. But now I'd like to read on these days leading up to the moon, 16, 17, 18, and then come back with another reading then. I have the Voodoo Tarot here. I'm going to choose now, take there's this intertwining between humans and animals, and the soul work that eludes human beings, in the sense that many people don't believe that animals have a soul, or that plants have a soul, and it depends on of course, your beliefs, but inextricably we're linked to our environment, and there is a mesh. There's a certain type of mesh in between the way that you go about interacting with your environment, and the way that you guard yourself against your environment. And it's interesting to see here. Now, at times I see we're alone in these coming up days. Almost all of the days we seem to be alone, even if we're in a crowd, even if we're with other people. Where our dreams are very, very clear, vivid. We have vivid dreams. We have daydreams, as if we're watching ourselves interacting in a sort of storyline that we can see clearly before our very eyes, opened or closed that they may be. And at times, some of the scenes that we enact in these daydreams are not understandable to us. We agree, we support them, we follow them, we're curious about them, and we think about them. But also there's a side to this daydreaming, imagining, visualizing that brings us to think that a part of what we're thinking and visualizing may be relegated to a land, to a reality that is not the third dimensional, that is somewhere else, that we're doing things, we're enacting things, we're creating, and we're moving in a space that is not of our, 9 to 5 job, is not of our, on your avenue of residence and all of that. It seems that you are starting to feel that your thoughts are gaining importance in the sense that they have a life of their own. And this is interesting. And when you're awake and this occurs, you can more or less govern them, and you can play. I'll use that word. You can play with them. I'm going to get my other cards. You can play with them and think about what they mean for you. I'm going to take a picture postcard of my collection, my fine arts collection, and add to this and see how that carries over. Okay. All right, this is, these are irises. This is the Irises by Vincent van Gogh in 1890. And the iris, this has come out months and months and months ago, probably last summer. It means life and resurrection. Iris is a Greek word meaning rainbow. The goddess Iris, she was a messenger on a mountain of Olympus, on Mount Olympus. She would take messages from the eye of heaven to the earth by the arc of the rainbow. And the iris means the eye of heaven, the center. Each of us carries a sort of a piece of heaven in us. It's an idea that the symbol of the idea and messenger are one. It also means royalty and divine prophecies, iris. It's a very interesting, so this is telling me, is telling me that there is an extremely important message that is coming to us these days, 16, 17, 18, before this full moon, that concerns our resurrection, our life, and how we emerge from the old and into the new. Okay, so every now and then the computer shuts off. So we were talking about Vincent van Gogh's Irises, 1890, and he painted while he was living in the asylum towards the end of his life. And so the idea of the iris is life and resurrection. Now let's see how this plays into the reading. I'll put this aside and take my other deck. Okay. And there's this element of nature, again, underlined with the irises, how you interact with nature, and how the souls that permeate the environment around you have a life of their own, unbeknownst to many of us. And it's interesting to see how some people are more attuned to the life, in inverted commas, the life of plants and animals, and others are less attuned. Take a look. This period, the 16, 17, 18, 19, leading up to this full moon, 2021, the full moon of May, does bring up a surge of obsessions. And we need to guard against that. A surge of obsessions in terms of, it could play out, these obsessions can play out in many different ways, in terms of you seeking finances, you seeking money, you seeking out a lover, you seeking out particular friends, you becoming obsessed with alcohol, obsession, as if you need that now, you want that now. There's people who go on spending sprees. Guard against this feeling of an energy of a desire that overcomes you, And not that I'm saying you shouldn't give vent to desires, no. But when you are governed by your desires, whereby it removes you from really coming into your own, this is when we need to guard against that. Now, there is a moment of high celebration in these days coming up because, it could be for any reason. It could be you having, I don't know, those little scratch cards. I don't even know what they call them. You scratch it out and you win $10 or something like that. And you're just, happy, and you buy your friends a drink. This is on me because I just won this $10, $15, whatever it is. or you get wind of a promotion, or there's something, but it's something to do with an economic fulfillment, improvement. Something you get wind of. A new client comes in and they accept your proposal, and that means money for you. So there from small to larger things that come your way in terms of financial elements that just go into your coffers and helps you and allows you to offer your friends a drink or your colleagues a drink. So there's a little bit of a celebration there, but there's also that bit of tam 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 tam, that tam tam tam. There's this fire. There's like a flame that you want to see smoke. You want to see, you want to invite these people that your friends. You want them to partake with you in that really strong feeling of. I want to say togetherness, but it's not that. It's that a feeling that you are organizing for yourself. It's like you're having a party, okay? You want to create it the way you want. You want it to come out the way you want. You want people to enjoy themselves in a certain way. And it's sort of, you're creating the ambiance and you're gathering people in. And there's a moment where you really would like to have a bunch of people, your closest friends with you. And it's interesting because that event will, or the lack of that event, that the idea that you want to do that, even if you don't, but that will lead you to some other event. It will lead you into understanding, strange as it may seem, it will lead you into understanding your obsessions a bit more. Okay, so the idea of drawing people toward you, having people in your midst will in some way, either because they give you feedback, either because they say, hey, what are you doing? Haven't you been drinking too much? Or haven't you been spending too much money? Or what if, this interaction with a group, a small group of a select few, will help you in understanding, giving you feedback in terms of what you're doing. Hey, what are you? Have you become a homebody? We never see you again, So they'll give you some kind of reaction to how you're acting in the public's eye. And all in all, towards the full moon, we're seeing an energy of stability. We're seeing an element of you having or feeling, okay? It's not necessarily the case that you'll be more grounded, but you're feeling as if you're starting to be more grounded. To take the Vita Sibilla on here. First of all, I'm going to do the irises to see their role, this life and resurrection in this moment of time, because the element of the environment and the plants and flowers are very prominent. They're very prominent, and people are in your midst as little, not pawns, but just there to remind you about what you're doing. So the emphasis really is on you these next couple of days, and how you're starting to react with difficulties you've had of late, how you're reacting to something that has been difficult for you to express, to process. And you're seeing yourself through the eyes of other people. That's what it is. You're seeing yourself through the eyes of other people. And let's see what these irises are telling us. Yeah, their thoughts, the resurrection, the idea of life and resurrection. There will be a time, right? The cards are female lover, could be a male lover, this pensiero, thought, and the letterato artista, which is also the letterato, thinking, okay? There's thinking, and thinking about love, and the role that love has in your life. What type of love is important for you now, in this phase of your life, in these few days? And the theme is coming up again. Is it love for my family? Is it love? Clearly, it's love for a significant other. How important? It seems as if the jury is still out on what this person means to you, how important they are to you. Can I live without them? What if they no longer were? Would I fall apart? How would I spend my days? What would happen if, so this is coming up and again, and with covering the irises, illuminating the irises. It's a sort of desire on your part to see one step beyond the immediacy of what that person means to me now. If that person's absent, then that means one specific thing to you. If that person is there but you don't consider them as being important, that has another relevance to you. But what I'm seeing here is your ponderings in relation to love as an abstract context, as an abstract concept, and trying to pinpoint it to someone. And you're having difficulty doing that. You're having difficulty putting love for John, love for Mary, love for Susan. It's not that. The idea is, what is my love? How do I enact? How do I give? Do I give? What is love for me? Do I know? This is what is the makings of the days to come. And I'm going to take a look at this devil here. There's the devil in this initiatory tarot. And the devil is above the two people, notably a female and a male. This is a card that just fell, and it's Constance. Constance, letter, and dottore. Now, over the obsession, the devil. It is an obsession. It's an obsession of communication. It's an obsession of how you still continue to, in some way, seek someone out in a rather obsessed way. The doctor here implies the obsession of the communication in whatever manner you you decide to enact that. And so this is a constance. This is something you need to guard against. In terms of how you interact with other people. That may need to be looked through the looking glass, I want to say, looked at with a how do they call it? The magnifying glass. I'm going to the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is the grounded queen, and the grounded queen, in terms of around this full moon, before the full moon, you'll feel that groundedness. But what do we have here? We have the ladro, which speaks to change. We have the nemico, which could be male. I'm reading it as these are two energies, and intimacy. What are we saying? What are they saying? That you come to terms with one side of because the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles is right next to the devil. You come to terms with your side to the obsessive story, and you acknowledge your role in how intimacy has developed. And I'm not saying you're doing a sort of mea culpa. No, you are beginning to acknowledge your role in how your relations have developed because of the way you act and interact. My guess is, but we'll be coming back with a full moon reading, that the full moon will have a big effect on all of us in terms of having us acknowledge our responsibilities. I'm going to do that Three of Wands, this tam 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 tam, this creating an atmosphere for our friends, as I mentioned before. We have conversation, donna di servizio, and dispiacere. Now, when you desire to be around people and it occurs and you are blessed, the only reason for you to shed tears would be that you do not give in equal measure to those around you. Now, it's a very difficult message, that is, I understand that. But, and I'd like to take another postcard on that. Because the reading has a strong connotation, strong highlighted message is on the obsessions that we have leading to the full moon, this period, and what they mean to us and how they have played out in different relationships. Oh, how interesting this is. This is okay, this is the see if we could see that. The Cornell Farm by Edward Hicks, the end of 1848 in Pennsylvania. It's an Indian summer view of the farm and stock of James Cornell, okay? And of Northampton, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And what's interesting, I had lighting. Okay, what's interesting is that you see, it's almost as if there's a stage here, and there's all the livestock. And in the back, you see that there are grounds here where people use it as a place where they meet and gather. There's no farm work there. The work is on the front. But here is where the people interact in the greenery. It's almost as if it were still life. You know, they're shots. What is prominent these days leading up to the full moon is that you are taking, as if you were taking a camera, and you're click, 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 and what you have in front of you is a series of pictures, and you're not able to connect the dots, you know? It's not a full-blown film, because every single moment, every single scatto, the click, the picture, the frame, every frame, okay, that's what I'm looking for, the word, every frame is a lifetime for you. And these days, I cannot stress, I mean, with the cards that I'm seeing, right next to the devil is the Wheel of Fortune, you know. What I'm seeing is that you're going toward a realization of your responsibility in how things have played out in relation to relationships around you. Now, this will play out too in different ways for different people, but it's undoubtedly the case that the coming up days are going to be very insightful, very difficult to accept. They're going to ask you to, the days will put us to the test, you know, will put our emotions to the test, will put us, you know, in face to face with our demons of obsession and how we interact, relationships, how we interact with other people. And the interesting part of this is how it is a series of still life shots, frames that we see, and each frame has a meaning for us. And it will take analytical skills for us to completely see our part and our responsibility and how things have played out with other people. I do hope this is of help, it was of help, this reading to you. Sometimes we just need to be a little more analytical, and I think these days are telling us that this is the time for that. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope this has been of help. Do visit my other mystic scrying medium, Christelle, YouTube channel. And thank you for your support. Bye-bye.